Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 49th episode of the Odyssey Hour. We are your hosts, the Odyssey Paranormal Society team. We're all here this week, thankfully, along with one extra, my good friend, Miss Sena Dyksman. Hello, Sena, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Apparently, I have a little buildup of energy. A little hyper right now.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you really do.
Woo!
Do you have a Red Bull mic? Or like 3?
No, I didn't. Not at all.
He's just high on life right now.
High on
obviously.
life. High on life. This is the highlight of the day right here. So Sena is joining us for a very specific purpose, and that is we are going to talk tonight about past lives. And I think that it's something that if you're in the paranormal, you think about a lot. You know, some people have the theory that this is it. We have the one life, and then we're spirits, we're dust, we're whatever. We don't come back any before or after. So my first question to you then, Sena, is what do you say to people who don't believe that there's anything like past lives?
Usually, deja vu. People say deja vu or anything like that. That comes from dreams, things that happened in the past from a past life. Or when you meet somebody and you feel it's the first time, but you just it's a familiar, like you think you've known them before. That's because it's past life. And so there's always ways of introducing, people that don't believe that there was past lives. It's like you've met these people in past lives, your lovers, you've had them from past lives, friends. And that's why you're connected with them again this lifetime, because it's from a past life and you will reconnect.
Is that always the case? I mean, because I know you've told me like everybody that I know, you have told me that I've had some past life with.
Correct.
And I'm like, obviously I'm not one for variety. I don't like meeting new people, apparently, because I just keep bringing them back from other lives. Mm-hmm. How do you meet new people then if you continually meet the same people that you... Is there only seriously 17 actual people in the world and it's just different soul fragments or what?
Oh boy, you just opened up a big question there. Okay, boy, this is gonna be interesting, and you guys are probably gonna go, what the heck? There's actually only one soul, and you're all living out different lessons of that one soul.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, so all of these people, that you're talking to, everything are you living different lives and learning different lessons. So it's actually one, that if you've ever seen, what is it? Science. It's a cartoon called Patch. He's Patch, and it's called The Egg, and they explain it in there. It's just one being. There's that's living out all these lives, and so you can be going back in time, forward in time. Could be any time frame at all, and you're just going in to learn different lessons. But it's you in every different life.
So every single person that I have ever dated, or that anybody in this thing has ever dated, it's just dated themselves.
Correct.
So how do you get mad at yourself then?
It's learning. When you know that, you get to be more gentler on yourself and also more patient, because you're understanding it's okay, yeah, I get that. That would be me in another life. That's my lower soul level. Okay, I got it.
I'm sorry. Just now that you've said that, now the only thing that I can think of is let's say I had a girlfriend and or a female friend or whatever, or any friend really, mm-hmm. and they piss me off, and I'm like, all I can say now is, "Fuck, I'm a bitch."
Yep.
What's wrong with me?
It's just different, you and different parts of, learning different lessons in different lifetimes. A male, female, because we all have male, female sides to us, but in this lifetime, the outskirts is what you're learning to lesson at, whether it's female, outside, or male, you guys, male. But we are male, female. It's just what we choose to live this lifetime as to learn that lesson.
Gotcha. Any of you guys have any follow-ups to that?
That's a lot to take in. So
Really?
all of you are me.
Yes. So I do walking. It's like this is you in all different lifetimes, living out lessons.
Yep. I got to say, Haley, I'm looking good tonight.
Okay.
Sorry, couldn't help it. My apologies. All right, go on. All right. So, does anybody have any follow-ups? Because I do want to. Yeah, I have something else, but
Why don't you just say yours?
no,
Yeah.
I just had another question. The one that we were talking about right before we came on the air. So I didn't want to move on. If one of you had a follow-up question to that.
No, I don't really have anything, so
Okay.
Go for
Well,
it.
then, one of the things that you do, Sena, obviously, is past life regressions.
Correct.
And how does that actually work? Like, how do you do that? Because one of the times I asked you, because you've told me about my past life, which we'll probably talk about later, but I was like, I would like to talk to that guy. Like, can I have an actual conversation with my past life? And you were like, yes, you can. So how does that all work?
What we do is we take you in. It's not a trance. I don't take you up. I don't do hypnosis. I kind of take you into a semi-trance where I talk to you and you're just mostly focusing on my voice. But when people are asking about past lives, I ask them, it's like, do you want to visit a past life? What is it that you want to do mainly? Is it is there cords that you want to cut? Because sometimes it's hard for people to move forward or for back. But as your situation, you want to meet yourself in another past life, in a specific past life. And so we'll go back to that past life, and I'll just take you I'll take you through a slow process like that, where you're just listening to my voice. And as I'm taking you, we start out in a field, and then I keep walking you through, a scenario to where you're just relaxed then and focusing on my voice up to the point where I take you to the hall of your lifetimes. The hall itself has doors on the right and the left, and these are your past lives. And so then I will tell you, ask you, it's like, what door are you pulled to that this is your past life as Van Helsing, or right?
Don't give anything away, Sena.
Yeah. Or wherever. I didn't say it was you. I didn't say you just, it was you. I just said something.
That's fair.
Okay. So, but I'll just tell you, what door are you pulled to for this lifetime that you're going to want to revisit. And then you'll say, this is the door I'm being pulled to. I said, okay, when you walk over to that door. So it will tell you what door of that lifetime that you will be pulled to go revisit.
I've actually been, I think, Scott, you might have even been there with me for this, but we had a case that you came and helped us out, an apartment in Minneapolis. And you were talking with our clients, which was a guy and a girl, fiancés, I think. I don't think they were married yet, but not important.
Right.
But you started talking to her about, like, what do you see and how do you feel about him and what do you get? And like, there wasn't even really like this journey or whatever, but she was like, I sensed that we were friends, and like they were back in like the Salem times. And I'm like, how did you get there? Like,
I can bring them in there. I don't have to bring somebody into a past life to have them. All I have to do is go in, tap into them. And I said, okay, this is where you know that one from. And then they all of a sudden will see that, and they'll be able to be there again. And I'll walk them through it. And then they'll go, yes, now I see them. I said, okay, now what is it that you feel? How old do you feel that you are at this time, and what's the relationship that you have with them at this time? And then that's when they'll start walking through it. So I don't have to take them under it completely. For some people can tap in just like me. It just happened in many lifetimes and not have to go in. I don't have to take them under.
do you think I would be impossible to do that with?
Yep.
God damn it. All right. Next. Anybody else?
So I guess my question would be like, where are you? What do you think the source of that information is? Like, where are you getting the information about people's past lives from?
I read energy, but I also can tap into people when I'm reading somebody or just talking to them. It's always permission. I never trespass, so I'm always saying, permission to, if they're coming to me for a reading or something like that, I'll just tell them automatically. I said I see past, present, and future. When I'm looking at somebody, I said also I can see past lives plus ancestral. I said so I will ask permission to give them information about a past life. If it comes up, because it's going to be pertaining to a lot of their reading, because they're going to have some questions about it. I already know, because a lot of times I already know what the person's going to be asking or what they want to know. And so I will just tell them, this is what your past life is, and this is how it's affecting you. And they're like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
This has actually happened to me, not with you, but with something else, where I was asking a question about, I think that it has something to do with my spirit guides. So it's not necessarily a past life. So forgive me for a little off tangent here. But I was told that it wasn't time for me to hear the answer to whatever question I was asking. That in some way it was going to, for me to know that, it was going to interfere with my future. So do you ever get that from a past life where you kind of try to tap in and they're like, whoa, no. They can't know any of this. Do you ever get that, or is it?
Yes. Yeah,
Why?
I would get a lot of information. Some people, like I can't tell people their deaths.
Oh,
Yeah, unless
what
it's
about that
something.
question?
Yeah, so there is certain information I'm given, and I'm not allowed to give it to them.
What if I give you permission? It's my death.
Because it can be life changing. So I have to be really careful about what I
Yeah,
do.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to know that. I'm one of those people like I don't want to know when or how I die because I feel like that affects how I live my life to the fullest. I don't want to go through life skirting around death. So I think there's a good reason why you can't divulge that information to people.
Also, certain relationships, because of a lot of people, in the past, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, being a psychic and medium healer, and um, I'm always careful with the information I give people because I don't want them to rely on me to live their world about what I tell them. So I will tell them, it's like, no, you need to create your life. And
That's so annoying when you do that.
but otherwise, because you don't want somebody to like hang on your every, what you tell them. It's like, because then they're living they're not creating their life anymore. They're observing and waiting for somebody to create it for them. And that's not how it's supposed to be. People don't learn lessons that way. And so that's why I hold back information so they don't cater to what I'm just telling them and make it that way.
Still annoying.
Yeah, it's the journey. They have to enjoy the journey. There's reasons they have to learn their lessons. And they're not going to learn the lessons if I'm telling them too much.
Fine. See, I'm learning already.
Is my lesson in this life patience?
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, or have noticed. I don't mind spoilers. It doesn't ruin the journey for me. It doesn't ruin the movie. It doesn't ruin the TV show. I'm perfectly fine with it. In fact, sometimes I enjoy it more because I know what's happening, and I can just mosey on to that area.
Okay, Mike, I can give you a prediction. Are you ready for my prediction?
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
You're going to die someday. That's That's my prediction. You're welcome.
Yeah, you, Weird Al, and Chris Rock have all come to that same conclusion. So
the soul never dies, though. The human body itself dies, but we're not always created as a human each lifetime.
Yeah, if I ever been like an insect, just curious, or a cat, maybe that's why I don't like them. Maybe I had a bad cat life.
No, you were.
I think you'd be more likely to be like a dog if you don't like cats. Maybe you were a dog or like a canine of some sort in your past life.
Wolf.
Yeah, wolf.
Ooh.
I was a wolf? Yeah. Wolves are amazing. Go me.
It's gonna go straight to his ego.
No,
It helps.
the only thing that would have been that is if I was like a prized steed.
A what?
A horse?
A prized steed. Hey, horses are amazing. They're majestic.
That is not. Mike, are you a horse girl?
I respect the horse. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
They are pretty amazing.
They're good.
I respect. I respect a horse. I think they are amazing creatures. But I'll take a wolf. That sounds good. All right. Anybody? The only
I have a
person that's really
question that's not super related to what we've already been talking about. If we want to go in a new direction.
Nope, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think I actually asked this one like maybe 3 weeks ago on the show, or something like that. It was just me and Mike and Lauren.
Girls' night out.
Yeah, it was girls' night, and but I want to get Sena's opinion on it because it's relevant to past lives. So my question is, can you have like a past life that actually takes place in the future from where you are now, or like
Yes.
a future life that takes place in the past?
Yes.
So it's something that can happen. It's not linear.
It's time is nothing. You
Okay.
can be because that's why I said I can see past, present, and future when I'm seeing somebody, and that's why it's easy for me to see the past life. We call it past life, but it's their life lessons that they've been through already.
Sure. So it doesn't have to actually be in the past. It just means
Correct.
it's a life you've lived before this one.
Correct.
Basically. Okay.
Are you able to tell the difference?
Yeah, because you can see what they're wearing or the situation. I mean, it's really easy to see if it's futuristic or it's just odd to do with the clothing, what's around them as far as electronics.
Does my fashion sense get any better?
I'm going to take that as a no.
Apparently not. Okay. That is just a smooth line right there. Consistency. That's what I like. I like consistency.
Yes. Okay. Let's say yes eventually. Yeah.
In the year 4020, you finally learn how to dress properly.
Yeah. Only because there's very limited choice of clothes.
So if there's only one thing I can wear, then I fit in.
Yeah, then everybody has a good fashion sense then.
Yes.
Great. I'm a lost cause until there's only one thing to wear, period. Great. Something to look forward to.
Bodysuits are great.
So, to Haley's question, because she did bring that up a few weeks back, and then I kind of threw out the theory that I think you kind of already answered, but I just want confirmation on it. Are we like necessarily living all of our lives at the same time? Or is it one life at a time?
No, we live several lives at the same time. Our soul itself can divide itself up to probably 4 different, so we're divided into 4s to live lessons because there's a lot of lessons for each of us to learn. And so we are living at the same time our lives, different lives, to learn lessons.
That would make me, so if we're all the same soul, I'm trying to do some math here, and I'm going to completely screw it up, so stay with me here.
Mm-hmm.
There's 7 billion people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
We're each the same soul, so we're all 1/7 billionth of a soul. But there's 4 lives going on at the same time.
Can be, doesn't have to be, yes.
Give or take.
Mm-hmm.
There's margin of error. So it takes 7 billion times 4. So I'm like 1/28 billionth of a soul.
Can be. Because we're not all, like I said, we're not always here on Earth. We're elsewhere. We don't even have to, in some lifetimes, we don't even have a body. It's just the soul that we're.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's just different. We're learning different lessons, different solar systems, planets. It's everywhere.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question I don't know if you can answer. I don't know either you have the answer or you're not going to be able to tell us. What is the final goal of all of these lessons?
To love unconditionally, to be our creator, to get to that level of unconditional love. The vibration level is that high to where um, we forgive no matter what, we love no matter what. It's unconditional. It's just to be. Um,
Oh, I achieved that like 3 years ago. We're good.
yeah, okay.
Except on
Hard,
cats.
hard disagree.
That
hard
must be
disagree
why.
on that one.
I think that's why I'm still here. I think it's because I can't get over cats. I just,
Yeah,
glad
cats
that
is
you
the
got it.
cats is the line.
I got at least 7 more lifetimes to go before I get to that level.
Mhm.
So just that one little thing. So, all right, that's fair enough. So, Lauren, you haven't asked a question yet. I find that hard to believe.
I know I have a list right here, but I was patiently waiting. So I'm curious because I know there's multiple people out there that take people through these past life regressions. And I would assume some of them do it without the proper training. So has there ever been a situation where somebody can get stuck in a past life regression? Or like end badly in some way because the person taking them through it didn't do it correctly? And like what happens if that situation occurs?
Yeah, people take like hypnosis. A lot of them will do hypnosis. I refuse to do a hypnosis because I want the person to be in control of their, if they want to wait, be out of, come out of it or not. So that's why I want them to be able to trust me. And so a lot of them that do past life regressions though are hypnotists. And so when that does happen, yeah, it's tough. I've never met any. I've never heard of any. But yeah, it will happen because if somebody's not properly trained and they take somebody under, you can literally send them off to La La Land.
That's a little
It's
scary.
a mind because
Yeah.
when they're doing hypnosis, it's a mind thing. So you're traveling back in, and that's kind of like the mind. So and the human mind itself can only cope with so much. So if you take it too far and over the edge, what happens? But yeah, that's why you want to be careful. You always want to make sure when you're going to do a past life regression, it's usually referral. If somebody's done it before with somebody else and they're comfortable with it. But always trust what you get. If you don't feel comfortable with somebody, don't do it. I don't care if you're walked into the office and get some money. If you don't feel comfortable, walk back out. There's a reason why you're uncomfortable.
Scott, what about you? You got any questions for Sena?
Well, one thing I'm wondering about is when you whether it's you giving the reading for somebody or if it's me doing my own past life regression. How do I trust the information I get?
If it feels right, again.
There's no way of proving or confirming the information you get. So, I find it hard to believe, what information I get.
Right, but it depends on, like, when you're doing having a past life regression or doing past life regression with somebody, it'll feel right to them because there's certain things. Okay, somebody's going to go into a past life. Sometimes it's just to experience one of the past lives. But a lot of them that I have, there's a reason why they're going through a past life. They want to know because they're stuck in a relationship and they don't know why, or they get abused and they don't know why they continually stay in relationships or end up in relationships like that. And so I will take them into a past life. It's like, oh, you were in a brothel, so you don't have very good self-esteem because this is from past life. This is not just from one past life. So you have, your self-worth is really, you don't have much because of that. And so then it's, stuff starts making sense to them when you take them into a past life and you explain to them and show them. It definitely, it hits home. Like, yes, this definitely, I can feel. I knew that person. They can really. It's like you're not just giving them information; they're feeling it, and they're like, "Yeah, I was there, and I can definitely feel like that was definitely one of my past lives."
So, I guess my question is, how much of our current lives are influenced by our past lives?
A lot, depending if you hold on to a lot and not working through it. Like I was just brought up, if somebody's stuck in a let's say a relationship, and they can't figure out why they can't let go of this person. You know, they've been wanting to end it, and it's not a healthy relationship, but they can't figure out why they can't let go. It's because they've been in many past lives with this person, so they just have this bond. But this lifetime, it's just to finish it. You know, any things that to work out any unresolved things that they had in a past life, and to move on. But because they've been in so many past lives with this person as a lover, male, female, it doesn't always have to be one, you know, female the whole time or male the whole time. It's male, female. It's usually swap. It's just they have such a bond with this person that they don't have a hard time letting go.
Is that always the case?
No.
Or
Nope.
so again, how do you tell the difference? Like, how do you know if this is just something that is going on now, or something that involves a past life when you don't know anything about your past lives?
Because it's that deep. You when you cannot figure out why, you just cannot let go, and you know you should let go, or let's put you meet somebody and you don't know why, but you really don't like them, and this lifetime you've never met them before, and you can't figure out why. That's from a past life. There was something done wrong to you by that person. And so it's always something that's, you know, everybody that you've met in a past life. And so it's just something that has, you know, whether it's good, bad, you know, passing, you know, it's something that you've met them in a past life. And you're going to feel anything from that past life with them when you're around them. You could have been, this has happened in one of mine. I didn't even have to do past life on this one person. I'd met her, and it was a channeling thing. And so I went there to actually get some information. I ended up doing readings on them. But this woman, she was sitting there, and I was looking at her, and she was doing a channeling for somebody, and I waited till she was done. And I asked her about her relationship. And she says, it's not really healthy. And I says, do you know that you have a sword in the back of you? And she kind of looked at me, and I says, you have pain every time you're around your significant other, don't you? And I said, in your shoulder, like up on here, and, you know, like in the back. And she says, yes. And I says, because you were stabbed by him in a past life. And it says, so if you were shot or stabbed by a person in a past life, and then you're around them this lifetime, that will show up. You will have something will hurt or feel it when you're around that person.
Very interesting. I like that. Anybody else have something else to talk about?
I have another question.
Go ahead.
So I guess how much, or I guess I don't know how to phrase this, but like in terms of like the next life we're going to move on to, do we have any sort of choice in what that life is going to be like, or is it just kind of like karma? You know, is it already all set up? Like, how do you see that, I guess?
Okay, we have what we call the book. It's a cache of records, and that's our lifetimes and our lessons. The lessons that we've signed up for. And so when we go up to the cache of records, you know, we've passed. We'll say, you know, passed over, and we don't have a human body anymore, and our soul up at the cache of records. They're ready to come down. You come and work through some more lessons, so that and depending on how new the soul is, we'll say, fresh, we'll just say. You'll be up at the cache of records. You're like, okay, I want to sign up for these lessons. And so then souls that you've known before will come up and say, hey, I'm going to help you with those. And so you'll come down, and wherever you choose to go, you know, to learn those lessons, whether it's another planet, human-wise, you know, that you're going to learn those lessons then at that time.
Cool.
I'm going to skip over a joke that came to mind while you were talking. So,
Please share.
Well, I was just going to say, because you said that lessons we sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering, when did I sign up to get the lesson of learning what it's like to be really rich?
Everybody's rich. It's just how they see richness. A lot of people see riches in money. Other people, what's just belongings, you know, material things. Others see it in just having a family and family around them. They feel, you know, they have everything that they need. So they feel rich. So everybody's definition of rich is different.
Fine. I agree.
I
In
think
this
Mike
life
was
for Mike,
talking
it's
about
wealth.
monetarily rich specifically.
I said it was a joke, okay? So, but she turned around and made complete sense. So
Sorry. You know what I do.
egg on my face.
I can take you one extra step on that one and say everything is energy, and you materialize what you want or what you believe in. So if you believe that you are not materialistic, money-wise rich, then you're not going to be. It's what you believe.
That means I need to become shallow and materialistic. Because, okay, I'll see what I can do. Does anybody have any more questions before we go on to like actual past life readings? Lauren, you said you have like a bunch there.
I know, but I want to get a reading.
We'll get a reading. Just
Yeah, I know.
do you have anything that's pressing before we get to the readings?
No, it's not pressing. No.
Okay. All right. Sena, who would you like to start with? Who's coming through strong?
Sorry, I can tap into all of you. It doesn't matter. We're all the same energy.
All right.
Let's see.
All right, ladies first. Haley or Lauren?
Haley, you go first.
Oh God, okay.
If you're okay with that.
I'm okay with it. I'm curious about
Okay.
this because I've had sort of astrological readings using like a birth chart to see some stuff about a past life, but I'm curious to see how that'll line up, I guess.
Okay, permission.
Permission granted.
Okay. How far back do you want to go as far as a past life?
I mean, I guess that's an interesting question. How far back is there for me? Are you able to kind of tell that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you one that comes in really strong just because we've just gone through, Halloween just passed. But one comes really strong with you is Salem days. You're a witch, female at the time. And that's where you're very connected to stones, pendulums, natural ways. You've been really pulled to that a lot more lately.
Was I like burned at the stake?
No, drowned.
It's not a
That's what you're
joke.
scared. No,
You
you're
were
scared of,
drowned?
yeah, you don't like things around your neck, and you have a fear, bridges and water. And so it's a combination. It's not when they're separate.
Sure.
Yeah, because you were hung from a bridge.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Well, that was morbid, but that's okay.
sorry.
We're good.
No, it's okay. Okay, so that one comes through
I mean,
really
Haley
strongly.
asked. Haley asked.
A lot of your female, because I'm your female essence this lifetime, but it's really coming through as far as your past lives. Because also you were, speaking of brothels, you were in a brothel, but I believe you're a madam of a brothel. You weren't. You were one that ran the brothel. You weren't one that was actually partaking.
Okay,
You like to control things. You like to be, one that runs the show.
I do.
Yeah, and that's where that comes from.
That's very true.
Can you tell me about the life I lived immediately before, like the one I'm in now?
Military, so it would be war. You're a soldier. That's why you're good at combat, but you're also in protective mode a lot.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
You don't know like what war, just know that I was in one.
World War II.
Okay.
American side, by the way.
America.
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 It wasn't
I
just a war, though. You'd show up as a red coat, so it wasn't your first war.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, though, before all of you ask really quick, I'm going to tell something. The movies that you're drawn to, that you watch, are from your past lives. Those are a refresher, or something that you remember, and that's why you're drawn to movies, because those remind you of your past lives. So the specific movies that you're drawn to, that's because you were in that past life.
So if I'm drawn to rom-coms and movies of homicidal talking turkeys, what's
Serial killer.
Especially the rom-com part, I'm assuming.
I'm trying not to bring up what we talked about already, but you, unless you want me to bring up, come out and say it, but I'm trying not to say it.
Not yet. Everybody else can.
Okay, that's why I said I'm
those.
trying not to say it, so I'm holding back here.
Okay. All right.
But you keep leading to it, so it's like.
Lauren, you want to go, or Haley? Do you have any more questions? I guess you should ask first.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I guess I don't know what questions to even ask for this. Really, I just maybe should have thought about that. But I don't know. Is there anything else pertinent? I guess that shows up for you.
Stop worrying about what people think about you. You keep trying to prove yourself.
Okay.
It's self-love for you this lifetime. It's been a couple. You've had to really try to prove yourself, and you feel like you're a woman in a man's world, but you feel like you're always fighting to prove yourself.
That makes some sense. Okay.
Lauren, you're up.
Okay.
Nurse from a past life.
Really?
People, yeah. Healer, medicine woman.
Is that like way far back, like medicine woman? You mean?
Medicine woman's really far back, but I've seen I'm going as far as recent, and then further back. And so for you, as a nurse, I first felt what they call candy stripers. Then I went further back. As soon as I said nurse, then they pushed me all the way to medicine woman.
Who's they?
I was gonna say, when I say they, that's your spirit guide.
Okay, because I did have a question. So, is it possible to have met your current spirit guide in a past life if there's somebody that was living at one point? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And some people have had them. What spirit guides are teachers. And yes, to answer your question, they will sign up to be a spirit guide for you. They could put, been an ancestor from many, many, many years, like many lifetimes ago, and then not want to reincarnate. They want to help, you with your lessons, and so they will ask to be one of your spirit guides then. But
have I ever met one of my spirit guides in a past life?
The ones that you have right now?
Yes.
Or one says yes. The other one say no. So there's one, but it's from a long time ago with a lover from a past life. Long time ago though. You are a sorceress, so a lot of magic, and that's where that one came from.
Okay. And then I guess my broadest question, can you kind of direct me to which past life is most greatly impacting my current life?
They said your last 2 lifetimes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not letting go. You this lifetime you hold a grudge, but you just don't let go of things. And so it's a lot from the last 2 lifetimes. You just have to forgive and let go, because it's not healthy.
In what kind of area of my life would I direct that forgiving and letting go in?
Okay, permission. Sorry.
Yes, of course. Yes.
I apologize. Because things are showing up, and I'm not sure if you want me to share this part of it, because it's going to be kind of personal. You have abandonment issues, and it's again from past life. It's someone went off to war and left you. You were left.
That's actually always been a terrifying fear of mine, honestly.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's fear. A baby left. You were left, and I think in a brothel or something. You were left. You were, as a baby, were left, so you weren't brought up by your original mom. And this lifetime, they came back around to help you, to try to nurture you and fulfill what they didn't in past lives. But you still have, again, feel from a past life that abandonment. So you're still trying to work through it, even though this lifetime it's not as bad, but you still feel it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But they want you to forgive though, because that's you're holding on to too much. It's controlling your life because you're not letting go.
Okay. Alrighty.
Got what you
Is
needed?
there anything else that you feel I should know at this time?
Self-love.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's probably going to be the theme today. You're going to feel a lot that I'm talking about self-love, because that is mainly what a lot of our lessons are about, is stop going outside of ourselves to find what we really need to just love what we are and who we are. Because we seem to always be searching, but that's because you need to be happy with yourself and who you are. We signed up for this lifetime with what we look like, who we are, with the people that we are. And so we got to quit comparing yourself to other people's lives or wanting to be other people's lives. Your life, you would not fit in somebody else's life, and they would not fit into yours. So you have to be happy with you and love who you are.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Well,
Sam, why don't you go? You've been sitting there very patiently.
Okay. Let's do it. You have my permission, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
They show me a cobble roads. They show me a male from a past life with you, and very well dressed. You are very much into fashion, but of importance. And I'm trying to see where this is at. Gosh, trying to see where. Because you have a top hat on, well dressed. You have a long coat, and just it's all tailored. It's not, and it's well put together. So you have money. You're used to riches, and so you're very well, very proud man of worth. Yeah, they keep saying of worth. Further back, Egypt, very connected to a lot of that era, royalty in that one. What they're saying though, deep, as far as how they say it, knowing. Trying to understand how they're telling me this, but it's understanding the way back then, as far as Egypt. There was oh gosh, I'm not understanding exactly how they're showing. They're showing me instead of telling me, so that's why it's hard for me to put into words what I'm trying to tell you. But it's knowing who you are. Like we have, if you're Spanish this lifetime, that's your origin. Well, in Egypt, that you were just raised very well as far as. Oh my gosh! Sorry, I'm just not finding the words to explain this one for you.
Yeah.
Because they're very strong people. So in Egypt, it was just their branding. I'm not sure how to explain this, but I'm sure you'd understand what it is. But it's just that when you're Egyptian, those are your ways, and and you were a boy at that one. Because I'm not seeing you like when they're showing me back in that. They're showing me that you were younger, like not quite. I would say like maybe just getting into the teenage years is how they're showing when you in that era.
Okay.
But you had to really learn the ways in that one. They were training you. That's what it was. Okay, so it was more that you were being taught and prepped for that.
Okay. Is that because it was in like a royalty context?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of gold around you.
Nice.
Yeah, Mike's a fan of that one.
Um,
Are there any past lives that are on the other side of like a female context that stick out to you?
yes. Again, you're very well to do, and so I'm seeing you in Victorian days, and you've got the full dress, um, very well mannered. Again, being prepped to be, very studious and have to act that certain way because that is, you were in a uh, very proud and well-to-do family. It seemed like you were always trying to be molded.
Mm.
It's like you didn't have a lot of freedom, we'll just say. But except for the very first one that I told you about, the male that he was well dressed and stuff, you were free. You were a traveler.
Okay.
For another female, you were Native American. So you learned how to live off the land, what was needed, the proper way to grow things and to make them flourish.
Mm.
Because the other one they're showing me right after that is a woodsman, because you lived in the wilderness and lived off of land.
Okay.
You were like being alone at that time. It was something that you had to really go through for experience for you because so many things before, like I said, you were just prepped before, molded, and that was where you needed to be free and really learn more, connected to the land and enjoy, be free and do what you needed to do because those were more lessons that you had to learn in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Even
That
more
makes sense.
Yeah, because then you could be more connected to people, and that's how you develop more of your communication skills with animals plus people. That you needed to, because in those you had to go to like trading posts, and so it was just learning that part for communicating.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We're gonna have to start calling you Pharaoh Albus from now on.
I guess so.
Scott, you want to take a stab at this?
No, I don't.
Was he a stubborn ass in his past lives? Seeing as that why he doesn't want to do it?
No, actually, very powerful. Very much.
Was he a wizard?
Um,
Because he hasn't really grown much in his lives. Then.
Actually, Salem days, but he was like in charge of the court, so he was in the witch trials.
Nice.
But
we
without
went to
my,
go there.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, no. Without my permission, you cannot look
I was
at...
going to say, without your permission, I can't do this. I apologize. That's why I said, well, wait a minute. Yeah, I have to have his permission, so I really can't. Okay.
Gotcha. Whoops. Forgot about that part. Sorry, Scott. I didn't know exactly how much you did not want to do that. Okay, I guess I'll go. I'm the only one left.
All right. Mike, we've already talked about this.
Okay, now, just 1 second here. So, because I do have a question about spirit guides. Do we have the same spirit guides through all kinds of lives, or every life we have a new set?
A new set, because it's different lessons different things that they're teaching you every lifetime. It's they're spiritual teachers, and so it's whatever again, lessons that you sign up for. But we all have different things that we're using each lifetime. Now, this lifetime, everything's being waken up completely for everybody to help. But in previous lifetimes, we didn't have all of our gifts that we used. And so it's whatever at that lifetime that we were in, it's whatever that was needed to wake up and learn.
Okay, fair enough. Then, what are my guides' problems? Because they're not talking to me whatsoever.
And you always tell me that.
I do indeed. And it never changes.
And I always tell you because you're not listening.
I am I just prefer to have that one-on-one and not the whole whisper in the ear and then I don't get to respond. You know me.
Right, but we talk. Okay, so this is okay. We're opening up here. Permission. We're going in.
Permission granted.
Okay.
You
And
know I
again,
don't care.
God, I'm really
Permission's
sorry.
always
I
granted.
apologize for doing what I did. As a little kid, you're highly gifted as a little kid, but you started shutting them down because of things that you experienced. And when you went through that as a little kid, remember in your rooms you were talking to things that were around you. And again, we had talked. We talked about this before, and stuff that we had validated that we had, but because of stuff that happened to you and that you experienced, you started shutting clairvoyant down, pictures, clear audio, because you were hearing things, because you were scared. And so, as you got older, you're still hesitant on some of those things. You're not opening those up or listening.
I listen just fine. They're just not talking to me in ways in which I understand.
It's not the way that you want them to come through.
Yes, but I'm the one that needs to listen.
Yeah,
So,
but it's not
which
always
means they should
listening.
probably adjust a little bit.
Yeah, but it's also feeling. Being psychic, being empath. It's what is your body? Your body's your sensor. And so, what do you feel? Okay, so you shut down your clairvoyant, you shut down your clear audio, but your clairsentience, what you feel energy, you feel things.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and so, but you're not paying attention. You always, and you won't tell anybody either. You'll walk in there going, "Okay, what do we got to do?" It's like you like bulldoze things over, instead of like walking in and going, "Okay, just relax. What are you feeling? What are you getting?" And so when you're walking around a room, you really need to pay attention to what you are feeling. Because it's going to tell you everything. And also your claircognizant, which is a knowing. You already know.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And so those are your two strong ones. But again, as a child, you shut that down. Because it's stuff that you experience. You have some things that you went through that kind of scared the crap out of you.
Nice, because I don't remember that at all. So, but like everything from like before 5 years old, I don't remember a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like kindergarten is about, where it starts for me. But, all right. So we were, and this actually made sense to me. And this goes to what you were talking about, how it just feels right, and that's how you kind of can trust the information. Plus I've talked to other psychics and they've kind of said the same thing. So they've had a different take on it, but like a different version of the same thing.
Okay.
But I mean, it made sense to me because obviously it deals with paranormal side of things. And, everybody keeps asking, I even got asked, on the show earlier tonight that I did, what got me involved in the paranormal, what got me interested in the paranormal. I'm like, it's just something I've always been interested in. But it wasn't until like really when we had talked about my past life, which you have my full permission to talk about right now, that it kind of made sense. Like this was just one of those, this made me understand why the paranormal field in general felt like home. Like I was where I was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so why don't you tell everybody why I'm so awesome?
Because you were Van Helsing in the past.
Van Helsing!
Yeah. You were literally one that went after monsters and knew what you needed to do. This is something that you had to grow up with because of whether you lost parents or friends or whatever it was. You learned how to battle and take out monsters. What you call monsters, but would be you would call it paranormal, but we call it immortal or different things. Would be werewolves, vampires, things that we would not in our time call normal. They're immortal and not what you would come across every day here. And so
but that past life, like what I did, everything that I was doing back then, even though it was way, way, way back then, is still in some way, I don't want to say interfering, but is still present in what I do. Because you said that because of everything that I did way back then, that's why spirits have a hard time trusting me, because they think that I'm, regardless of what I say, I'm there to attack them and
Right.
get rid of them.
Right.
So I mean,
because you say-
why does something way, way, way back then still affect my energy and me now?
Because it is your energy. It's not going to change. When you come in there, you still take charge and come in and mean business. And that's the presence that they feel. And they're just like, whoa, wait a minute, this guy's going to take us out or get rid of us. We got to get, get that in the backstage here because we don't, we don't want him taking us out or, so like, I've been on several investigations with you, and you always say, it's like, I don't feel nothing when I'm walking in here. I was like, yeah, because they're in the other room. They don't, they know what you are. They can feel that. And there's like, they don't want to be taken out or, passed over or whatever they're, whether they've come through a black hole, whatever it is, they know, they can feel that energy, that it's intense.
But again, that's who I was. It's not
Yeah.
who I am.
But you still come in with that energy. It's not, even though it was what you were, you're still coming in with that same kind of energy because you come into it going, okay, let's go. Let's do this. It's not like coming in on okay, we're going to set this up and okay, I'm going to relax. I'm going to talk to you guys. You're not talking to them. You're just like, we're coming in here and whatever it is that you're checking out, it's like they know that you're not there to really interact with them, but they feel like you're there to take care of them. It's just strength at you. So when I'm going to explain this a little bit better. You come in like a mama bear, and you're protecting your team.
How about a little something more masculine than mama bear?
All right, you're Papa Bear.
Thank you.
Mike, you gotta have the balance.
Yeah.
I do have the balance. I have a very large feminine side, so we're good.
Yeah.
But at least in this instance,
Where?
all over, Sam. Anyway.
So when you come in there, though, you just come in there like you're protecting everybody.
Right.
So
Yeah, that is correct. But that
Okay,
doesn't mean
but
that
that's what they're feeling.
well, right. But that just because I want to protect the people that I'm with doesn't mean that I'm going to attack them.
Right. But you're not learning that your energy is like out there. When
Yeah,
you protect, you're like, ooh, okay, we're protecting. We got a huge bubble up. Well, you got to pull that bubble in. And then they'll be there to interact with you because then they're like, okay, he's not here to like get rid of us. But you would just come in there like, ooh, okay. It's like you come in there with power. And so that's when they feel that, they're like, no, this person's here and he wants to get rid of us.
I want to get rid of them. So
Yeah. So you have to learn how to pull in. We talked about that before. You have to learn how to pull in your energy. So it's not out there. It's very intimidating to them.
yeah, that was the thing that I said that I bring to an investigation. I bring the intimidation factor,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't want to.
Right.
But
You have to learn how to just kind of wheel it back.
I was just say I don't know how to do that, and that's why I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
See, I'm listening. Lesson learned. So we always talk about that past life of mine. I know you've kind of mentioned a few things here and there, but I mean, a lot of people, especially Lauren and Haley, have talked about recent past lives. Ours are always way back in the Salem days and even further back in the Middle Ages or whatever. But you've never kind of mentioned about one or two back that came before now.
For you?
Yeah. I've kind of asked if I have asked the question, have I had a past life beyond that one of like substance? Did I do anything important with my past lives? And I think your answer was no.
Well, again, we all look at things as substance or importance differently.
Well, that's very true.
So it all varies depending on that.
Well, then I guess let me change my question then. Have I lived any past lives that I felt were important and of substance to me?
Yes.
Expand on that thought, Sena.
You were a fighter. You were
Hey, nice.
in a war.
Oh.
You were a jet fighter. You.
Ooh, yeah. Danger zone, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you're kind of like flight. You like being in a plane because it's something that you're very good at.
Yeah. Apparently, I was very good at a lot of things, all of which I can't remember. So, okay,
You're
sweet.
a very good archer. So that would be from, again, deeper back. But they're showing me you with a bow and arrow, which you're very good at. But it's the older days where you had to make your own bow, but you were very good at archery.
Sweet. I like that. Does anybody have any questions for Sena before we go?
Can I
Anything
get one
dealing
more
with-
quick one?
Absolutely, Haley, have that.
Okay. Are there any animals that you can, I guess, say that I was in a past life?
Cat. Not just a cat though. It was bobcat. Bobcat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't mess
That's
with
interesting.
bobcats.
Okay.
May I ask the same question? Now I'm curious.
Oh, there's sorry, lioness as well. Sorry, lioness.
Trump's my wolf.
Bear. White fox.
Ooh, white fox.
Possibly. Okay, I'm seeing white, but I'm trying to see if it's a fox or if it's a wolf. No, they keep pushing me back to the fox, so it's a fox. Definitely bear though. I will tell you though, a lot of this is from within. We are part animal, human, and so a lot of that just comes out, and we've lived it in a human body. It's also part of us, even now, and that's why you feel a lot of the tendencies from those. If they cross your path, we call them spirit animals, and so when they come out, it actually comes out from within us, and it's a message.
Fair enough. Sena, before we go, if anybody would like a reading with you, if anybody would like a past life regression with you, how would they go about that? Was any of my past lives I was unable to speak because it's really coming through.
When you're
But if anybody wants to schedule anything with you, how would they do that?
my business that I have is it's Insightful Soul, and I have a website. So if you go on Insightful Soul, you can go onto my services. I do past life regressions. I charge $100. If you don't tell me costs or anything like that, what I charge, but you can go on my website and set up a time on there, and it'll give all how much everything is. And if you have any questions, you can also call me. I don't know if you want me to give my number out here, but I'm always open to any questions. A lot of people have a lot of questions about making sure that nothing negative is going to happen with certain things. So I try to make, like I said, I want people to be comfortable. So if they have a lot of questions, I'll answer them right up front. But otherwise, yeah, go on my website, email me, text me. My email is readingsbysena@gmail.com.
All right. Well, there we go. Sena, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I thought it was very, very insightful. So, see what I did there? Eh?
Hey.
Y'all missed it until I said something with insightful, but that's okay. All right, so we'll be back next week for our 50th episode, where we will. We already have Brian and Rochelle Stratton, Brian Murray, coming on. I'm gonna try and smooth either Ken Boggle or Dustin Perry to join us with that one. So 50th episode is going to be amazing next week. You're going to want to be here. So thank you again to Sena. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe. We want to see you back here next week. Enjoy your evening and the rest of your week.